Hi, it's recently been National Careers Week, and for this, we've had a look in school at your different subjects and how they relate to jobs that you might do in the future. We've also looked at the pathways that different subjects can lead to, so courses that are related to the subjects post 16 when you leave Farnham Heath End School, and then beyond that, degrees and apprenticeships. Today, we're going to look at geography. Where can studying geography take you? So we're going to highlight the relevance of geography to future jobs. What careers can you think of that use geography? What do you think these roles involve? What would the daily tasks be? What skills do you think you might need for these roles? So here are some careers that are linked to geography. First one that we have here is a mineral technology apprentice. In this job, this person is working in a quarry and they're mining limestone in the quarry, which is a mineral. And that limestone is used to make cement, which then, of course, is used in all kinds of building. Everything we build really is using cement. This second job, a countryside officer, this is a very practical job. Again, in this job, this person is doing conservation work really in the British countryside. So she's doing things like planting trees, building fences, shoring up riverbanks to stop erosion. So it's a very outdoorsy job. You'd be out and about all the time. This one, a town planner, this is a really interesting job. So let's just watch a short film about this job.
Hello there, I'm Chris Jesson. I'm a Principal Town Planner with Planning and Design Group. I work in Nottingham as a planning consultant. My idea of what town planning entails is looking out at the world, the places in which we live, we work, we play, we go out and enjoy ourselves. What is good, what is bad about those places? What can we do to improve them? What can we do to change them for the better of society? That's the main motivation for me as to how I got into planning. When I left University of Sheffield, I graduated in 2011. I started as a graduate planner. I started as a planner and I've worked my way up to principal as of 2017. But my job at PNDG is more based on the site promotion side of planning for housing, for employment, for leisure, for recreation, all manner of different land uses. When I was at school, I think it's fair to say that I bloomed later in life. School was a relatively unpleasant experience. When I was age 9, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, so I'm autistic by definition. So that had a lot of additional elements to play with. Not only did I have to sort of engineer myself socially to try and get on with the people, but also obviously had to work out how to be like other people. When I went to sixth form, I'd already made the decision I wanted to be a town planner. The actual point at which that became clear to me was at the age of 12. I went on the Connections website, I answered the relevant questions of what I wanted to do in my personality. The two options that it gave me were town planner and tram driver. So very well matched to everything that I'd wanted to do. It was music to my ears, really. I studied English literature, geography, history and ICT at A-level, and I pursued all bar history for the A2 level, and applied here to the University of Sheffield as my preferred choice to do urban studies and planning. My family were fully supportive. I was the first person in my family to go to university, and I have a reputation of, if I want to do something, I will try my best and work as hard as I can to carry that through. I won't give up, and that's what I did with planning. For planning, you need all manner of skills. The emphasis is that you might well need a lot of numeracy and mathematical skills. I myself am pretty slipshod at maths, but managed to have got through that. You do need attention to detail. You do need to be quite a visual learner and actually respond to sort of what's called the spatial environment. So you need to understand how people interact with places and spaces and have an eye for what does and doesn't work in You need to have an eye for design. So what represents decent design so that it's legible for people to move around in, so places don't become dead and ghostly. I think my work-life balance is good, and I spend a lot of my spare time in what I like doing. I like to fill out that time, so I'm a motoring enthusiast. I love going visiting places, stately homes. I like going to travel in this country and abroad, and I make sure that I enjoy that. I've always said I want to remain in planning consultancy. I've indicated before that to my employers that I would like to keep training and learning on the job, and in 5 years' time I would obviously like to see myself in a sort of advanced position from where I am now. I'm incredibly proud to be a principal planner. I'm only aged 28. I'm really pleased with that. I've got into something that I wanted to enjoy. I sort of knew I would enjoy, but there are a lot of barriers in life that sometimes get in your way, and I've managed to get through those. It's taken a long time, but I think I've made it.
Okay, so that was planning, town planning. We're going to have a look at another job that's linked to geography now, and that is a cartographer, which some of you might know what that means. It means somebody who makes maps. Let's have a look at that one.
Hello, I'm Eddie. I'm 25 years old and I'm a globe maker. When I was a child, my father always insisted that I looked at maps and looked at globes to learn about the world. I discovered Bellaby & Co., the company I work for, whilst I was searching online for more creative opportunities. I applied for an apprenticeship and I spent 6 months learning how to make a globe. We are one of the only company that creates handcrafted globes from start to finish, and we create a representation of the world in three-dimensional space. The globe can change from a terrestrial, so the world we live in, and a celestial, which shows all the stars in the sky. In this job, I get to combine my passion for travel, as well as my passion for creativity. I spend my days cutting segments of map, which we call boards, and then applying them onto a sphere, making sure that it's nice and smooth and that everything aligns. Working on such a small version of the world demonstrates how truly large it really is. So the subjects that have come in very useful in my career are maths, because as globe makers we need to calculate the circumference of a sphere, and of course geography for understanding where everything in the world is. There are many people involved in the process of making globes, such as the cartographers who make the map, the globe makers who apply the map onto a sphere, the painters who colour it in, and of course the woodworkers who create the bases the globe will go on.
Eddie is an amazing employee. He's really committed. He's got an incredible attention to detail. We have quite a small team here. It's really important that everyone gets on really well, and Eddie is definitely one of the people that keeps everyone with a smile on their face.
I really love my work because not only do I make the world, but also I get to hold the whole world in my hands.
Okay, so that was 2 jobs that are related to geography. The final one we can see here is a landscaper. A landscaper creates outdoor environments. There's soft landscaping, which uses plants and foliage, and then there's hard landscaping, which uses structures. And that's again a very outdoorsy career. You'd be outside a lot. It's creative, and it's increasingly in demand as people want to have, really interesting outdoor spaces in their homes, and not just in people's homes. You could be doing civic landscaping, which would be landscaping public areas. So there's a lot of opportunities in landscaping. Okay, if you want to find out more about the jobs, you can go to a website, the National Careers Service, and that'll give you information on different jobs, like the average salary, the typical hours, the work patterns. If I move myself, you can see that. The work patterns, the pathways, how to get into that job, the qualifications you need, and then the skills and tasks. Okay, so post 16, when you leave Heath End School, what subjects could you take that are related to geography? We have the new T level, and there's one coming out in design, surveying and planning for construction. That's equivalent to 3 A levels, but it's more practical and it includes a 90-day work experience. And our local colleges are starting to offer the range of T levels, so that's something you could consider. A levels that are related to geography, architecture, obviously geography, environmental science, technology, or you could go for a BTEC, which is a more practical qualification, the most practical qualification, and you can do BTEC in construction or planning and the built environment. Then here there's some apprenticeship ideas: town planner, mapping, historic environment advice assistant, ecologist, transport planner. So there's apprenticeships in those areas. Okay, then at 18, if you want to go on and do a degree that's related to geography, you can of course do geography, environmental sustainability. That's going to be a growth one, as we need to care for our environment as much as we can to keep the environment as good as it can be. International tourism management, that sounds interesting, and global studies and international relations. And the apprentice ideas there are the same, but you would be doing them at 18 at level 3, so a more advanced version. Okay, that's the end of our presentation on careers related to geography. Thanks for listening.